Philip Mommy Vincent. Nah, dude. Usually I come up with these really cool nicknames. I couldn't think of a good one on the fly. But Philip, I'm glad you're here, man.
Well, thank you for being here. I don't think any of us would not be here if we didn't have a mommy. So that's okay. If you call me mommy, that's fine by me. We're a very mom-centric house in my family. My wife has a company called Momshell. She turns wives into bombshells, and I have a company called Mom's House. So mommy is probably a better nickname than you realize.
Yeah, there you go. Mom, she turns moms into mommies, dude. That's into
No,
bombshells. We're gonna talk later just about that, okay?
yeah, let's have her moms into bombshells. Whatever your husband wants, right?
Exactly. Let's get rid of Philip. Let's just talk to his wife. All right. Just kidding. You got a very unique thing. Obviously, we've talked about real quickly. I try not to, prep people before they come on. We have a very unique thing. I think a lot of our real estate agents and our small business owners, our real estate people out there are going to be very interested in hearing your story. So really quickly, why don't you go into it and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get rocking.
Yeah, and when people tell these stories, it's way too long. So basically, I've been in this business 26 years, always trying to get to where are the best leads. Even today, if we were out, having lunch together, we'd talk about, hey, what's working today? Where are the best leads coming from? And back in 2011, I discovered what I found to be the best real estate lead source I've ever found, and it's from the senior living industry. And so to be clear, I'm not going to talk to you guys today about turning a house like into a single family or like a residential assisted living community. There's plenty of people that do that well. What I'm talking about is everyone that moves into senior living, that is the flashpoint of when they're going to need, usually about 90% of the time, to sell that house for the equity in it to pay for the care. And so whatever community they move into, whether it's big, whether it's small, that's what I found to be the best real estate lead source in my 25 years. Through trial and error. I mean, I lived through the downturn 8, 9, and 10, came out of that 2011. I was really starting to look for new lead sources. Coming from a company that was spending 20, 30 grand a month on marketing. So I've tried every marketing tactic that's out there. So if you're listening, I still love direct mail and I still love pay-per-click, but all those things are very expensive, very time consuming. You're competing with everyone. So today we're going to talk about a niche, this building relationships in senior living. And when you do, it's like a never ending or like an oil well of leads that keep pumping because they're dealing with families every day that need to sell the house to unlock the equity for care.
Okay, so let's say I'm a real estate agent. Let's say I'm with Sotheby's or EXP or whatever. It doesn't really matter. What do you suggest? How do I get involved with you, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, and so there's 2 million real estate agents, right? And so I'm an agent too. So forgive me when I say this. We could lose 1 million real estate agents tomorrow and probably not miss a beat, right? The million will pick up the slack if we lost a full million. So with all the NAR stuff that's going on, everybody's looking. I get the luxury of talking to agents every week. And they all say, I'm going to focus on listings now. And in my head, I'm like, you should have been doing that the whole time. But listings, right? Of course, listings are good for real estate. So when you think about a senior moving into senior living, that's their last listing they're ever going to have. They're selling that forever home. It's either going to be a listing or an as-is sale. But then they're not going to buy another house. But what I'm here to talk to you about today, the uniqueness of what I'm talking about, is there's this billion-dollar industry called the referral and placement industry. It's like being a buyer's agent for senior living. So when they sell that forever home, that's a listing or an as-is sale, but then they move into senior living. That senior living community, get this, they want to pay you 1 month's rent to move that person in. So when you refer Bob to Garden View and it's 10 grand a month to live there, Garden View will pay you $10,000 for bringing one customer to their community.
Got it. I think, what's her name? Jane London. That's what she does.
What you're talking about. She's the spokesperson of the gorilla, the Goliath in the room, the company that's universally disliked in that industry. Ooh. But they're also the biggest brand name. So I won't say their name, but this industry is long story short, they've taken the human side out of it. They used to have a lot of people, boots on the ground, and they've digitalized the product. Well, my mom's not a digital product. She's a real flesh and blood person.
Yeah, totally.
And so that's where the opportunity comes in to be what's called a referral and placement agent in flesh and blood, hugs and kisses in real life, sitting at the kitchen table with the families.
Gotcha. So you can add value to a real estate agent, even though you are a real estate agent. You can add value to real estate agents' practice by strategic alliance or what have you, correct?
Yeah, take it even further. It's a new revenue stream. So when you refer Bob into that Garden View and you get paid that referral fee, that's not a commission like normally from a real estate transaction. That's a referral fee. So it's more revenue. Then you realize that Bob 90% of the time needs to sell his house to move into care. Now that's your normal, this is where I get my listings. This is where I get my as-is purchases from. So it's going to be deal flow. For anyone listening, whether you're thinking about getting into real estate or you're already in real estate, this is this is lead acquisition or lead aggregation in the organic way, the most pure way of the best real estate leads I've ever found. So if you want more business, think about who the sellers are going to be over the next 15, 20 years. It is seniors and it is boomers.
That's seniors. Yeah. Yeah. And it would augment a real estate agent's business, and it doesn't flow. I don't think it wouldn't flow through their broker. It sounds like, because
Up on that. Yes, sir. That's correct.
and then this could be nationwide. Yeah, it could be. And then there's not very many people in the senior market, so they would be experts in their given locality, correct?
Check this out. There's less than 1,500 referral and placement agents in the nation.
Yeah,
so remember how I said if we have 2 million agents and we lost 1 million of them, we'd still have 1 million. If I do really good and I take it from 1,500 to 15,000 referral and placement agents in the nation, it's still woefully underserved. That's how much opportunity is here. And then you realize the cherry on top is the real estate. Like it's obvious when real estate agents figure this out, they're going to be unstoppable because this is where the inventory is going to come from.
All right, I got a dumb question because I'm a dumb dude. By the way, my name is Kenneth French, again with Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. I'm with vastsolutionsgroup.com. So, all right, here's my dumb question. So let's say I'm a real estate agent. I have a client who, let's say their mom, dad needs some help. Let's say I know which 5 places they potentially would go. How could you help in that regard then?
Yeah, you'd want to get a referral and placement agreement with those 5 places. You'd want to tour with the family. And 30 days after they move in, you get a check. Usually, Kenner, is usually 1 month's rent. I've seen it as high as 200%. I saw one guy get paid $14,000. It was $7,000 a month to live there. And the community was paying 200% of 1 month's rent. So that he got paid $14,000 for bringing one person to one community one time.
All right. Do I have to be an agent for that? Let's say me. I'm not.
No, not at all. You do not have to be licensed to do this. And I say yet, because if you guys are listening to this 3 years from now, maybe that'll change. But as of today, you don't have to be licensed to do it. Do you need some skill sets to know the industry, the wording, how the communication is, the language of senior living? Absolutely. And that's what we do here at Mom's House. We have a certification to teach people how to do not only referral and placement, but also the real estate side. Most investors are way too transactional. They don't think about the person they're buying from or the emotions they're going through. And so with Mom's House, we do it in a more empathetic way. The holistic approach to being what we call a senior transition specialist is helping 3 ways. Where will mom or dad get the best care? That's referral and placement. What do we do with a house, whether that's as is sale or listed? And then the third thing is the stuff. We can spend an hour just talking about helping people with the stuff because they're so tied to their possessions. They look at it as their identity. So the better you help with the stuff, the more it lubricates the other dominoes to fall as well.
I totally get it. So your marketplace, if you think about it, it's an agent an agent. Also, an agent, kind of the end user, the retail user, the mom and dad who's moving into the place, correct?
Yeah, and it's usually the adult children. So we lovingly call her daughter Judy. She might be 65 years old herself. A lot of times she is. She's helping her 85-year-old mother move into senior living. She's still married, sometimes has a job. She's got a busy life. And she didn't have time to go have this full-time job of helping mom find the right care. So she goes out and finds a referral and placement agent, which is what we teach people how to be. You work for free for the family. It's truly, guys, like being a buyer's agent for senior living. Yeah. You can go out and help that family, and the communities happily pay it. Because get this, Kenner, all a senior living community is really a big multifamily building with a ton more care, a ton more cost. Yep. So if we own one, you need occupancy. And the fancy word for occupancy in the industry is census. Is the census up? What's the census at? They literally get hired and fired over the census not being high enough, and all they really mean is occupancy. And so we help speed that process up. We take away the things that's stopping them from moving in.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, so I was going to say that's the third person you need is the person who is in this case the son or daughter moving their parent in. Yeah, so that's kind of the third market.
Yeah, that's the person we help. Daughter Judy is who we help to help their parents find the right care. You want to get the family involved. You got to imagine, Kenner, it's not a little decision to put your mom in senior living. And if anybody's gone through this, you already know. Families tell me all the time it's one of the hardest things they've ever had to do as a family. Families that get along don't get along during this process for many reasons. And so they need a Sherpa, a guide, a helping hand, a transition specialist to give them all their options. So many people go through this and they have no idea that this kind of help is out there for them.
Yeah, I totally get it. And by the way, where are you located, Philip?
I'm in the middle of the country, St. Louis, Missouri.
And by the way, how does someone get a hold of you?
Anytime I'm on a show like this where I can provide value and teach people new things, I want to teach you about senior living and how this industry, they all start with a give. So what I'd like to do is give everybody listening, if they want to, I set up this code. It's momshouse.com/Kenner, Kenner. You're
Woo!
in
Greatest guy ever. Yeah.
yeah, greatest name, great name, very strong name. Momshouse.com/Kenner. And what I want to do is I want to give you guys, there's like these 10 or 11 different job titles, like executive director, case manager, social worker, elder care attorney. Like I've curated a list of 310,000 of these contacts all across the nation. And what I want to do is anybody that goes to that, the website there and fills out their information, I want to give you thousands of leads for your state. So what state are you in?
Washington.
You're in Washington State. So in that state, I probably have 7,000 or 8,000 leads. I want to give those to you. That's their name, their address, their phone number, their email, their LinkedIn address. Those are the people that you're going to be building these relationships with that you can, if you do it right, if you get to the, by the way, you have to go know, like, and trust. If you get to that trust, you'll have enough business coming to you for the next 20 years. So I want to give that to everyone listening who's interested.
That's a good deal. So again, if I'm a real estate agent, let's say with whatever, Sotheby's, it doesn't matter. With Sotheby's, they go to, again, Mom's House /Kenner. They would be able to get that list, and they could work that list.
Yeah.
And then get 1 month free, not free. Yeah, I'll just say free. They get 1 month free.
They pay you 1 month because they have if I can be so bold, they have the front doors open and the back doors open. The person only lives in senior living about 21 months. So if you own that community, you have a very short time to make your revenue. So they want to incentivize getting them there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I get it. Wow. How many months? 21 months? How many months?
21. It used to be 28, but post-COVID, people, what they started to do is live at home longer. And it's such an interesting industry. Like, by the way, everyone wants to age in place. We all want to pass away in our own homes, right? Nobody wants to go to senior living. But what's crazy is the people that do, they almost unanimously say, I wish I would have done this years ago. So this unique business where you can have community and help with your med management and your dressing and whatever you need and community, right? People get happier. They go there and all their chores are done for them. Their food is cooked and their laundry is done. Like, it's a great place to go to live, where we have to change the premonition that senior living is where you go to die. That's not true anymore. And people are becoming more and more aware that these places are actually really great places to retire.
Yeah, I get it. Especially now with the graying of America, it would seem like your business would be rocking right now.
The silver tsunami is here. So because I started this back in 2011 doesn't mean you guys are behind. To be clear, this is the first year of the oldest baby boomers are starting to move into senior living. So for the next guys, 15 to 20 years, the numbers are pointed straight up. If I can be so bold, you're going to work in senior living whether you want to or not. So you might as well embrace it. And if you don't take my advice and hear me out here, guys, you're going to be buying houses from people that did. That's about this market.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. So, okay, let's just say I want to get into it. Let's say there's a real estate agent out there that wants to get into this. What other little bits of advice would you suggest? Because it sounds like it's a rock solid idea.
There's tons of advice. I'll just point out the bad parts sometimes. The investor world, we love that word investor. I'm an investor. Well, who is that word self-serving, right? It's not serving the seller. It's serving myself. Investor sometimes is misconstrued as shark, and we don't ever want to come across as shark-like in senior living. And then the real estate agents are usually way too transactional. They're like Oprah. They're like, you get a card. Like everybody, they just feel like passing cards out is building relationships. This business of senior living is built on strong relationships, and you do that through networking and serving other people, starting with a give. Some people have the temperament to do that, and some people don't. So if I can say, if you're way too transactional, this is probably not for you. If you want to build long-term relationships that you can get deals from 10 years from now, this is the perfect business for you.
Got it. I think I have 2 leads for you right off the bat, by the way.
Tell me.
Yeah, Mary Copeland. She's a great friend from here. Oh, dude, offline, I'm going to tell you, I think I'm going to add some value to you right off the bat. I'm helping you. How does that sound?
That's awesome. And I'd love to talk to Mary. I mean, what about her? When you heard that, why is she the perfect candidate?
That's a really good question. By the way, I feel a little funny talking about her here on whatever. She's
We're
cool.
gonna tell. Hey, we're gonna tell her. We're not talking behind her back. We're talking to her face.
She
She'll end up hearing
markets.
about it.
She's awesome. She markets a magazine, believe it or not, a senior. It's called Compass and Clock, and it goes to I think all of Washington, at least Washington, if not the Northwest, and it's for seniors. Estate planning, a little bit of investment planning, and it does have stuff on senior living. And so her grouping would totally be advantaged by something like this. I gotta think.
Yes, sir. She sounds like she's understands it more than most. So that's awesome.
Yeah, she's good. Okay, now I'm getting it. Wow, I got it pretty quick. That shows you how dumb I am. It took me a few minutes to get it, but now I get it.
Well, maybe I'm not a good messenger, right? I mean, I got to explain it too. I think it's the moving parts. The referral and placement. By the way, guys, if you didn't even do real estate, I think you could make $100,000 a year from just doing a couple referrals a month for just helping people find the right care. Truly, you could. But then you realize 90% of the time they have an asset called a house that they need to sell. It's like the most obvious organic way to get real estate leads. It's not like backdooring it. It's literally the front door to helping them with this, And by the way, Kenner, they don't need to sell the house until they know they're going to move. And as soon as they know they're moving, now they have to sell the house. Yeah. So it really goes, where will mom find the best care? What do we do with the house? What do we do with the stuff in that order?
Yeah, and by the way, on your website, what else is of value that I bet you have mass tools on your website that would help someone out?
We've done this a long time. It's basically an entire business in a box. When we think about helping a family with their mother or father, you better believe trust is a big, big deal. And so your web presence today is super important. I don't care what business you're in, but especially for senior living, if they look you up as a referral and placement agent and you add this on top of your real estate, you're not going to want to combine all those things into one. And so we help build custom websites for the referral and placement business. We also do social posting for people. We have these leads coming in, these Daughter Judy leads every single month. I mean, we're really an one-stop shop for everything for what we talked about today to not only make money from the real estate, but also the referral and placement business.
Oh, got it. So you help them with everything. So it's almost like plug and play, it sounds like.
That's the goal. I would keep growing and getting better and trying to get people, if you look at me back in 2011, I just stumbled through it, hit my head against the wall, and all of my trainings and teachings are based on the right and the wrong way to do it. I did a lot of things wrong. And so my goal is to get people bypassed all of that and get to trust as quickly as possible, starting with that give, becoming valuable to the people around you. If you think about it, we're not selling anything. We're a service for this industry. And when you do it right, they look at you as a tool because everybody cares about what's in it for them. When the senior living industry looks at you as a tool to help them with what we call the census conversion tool, you're going to be very valuable to them and a tool they're going to use for the next 2 decades.
So generally, I bet you your real market are brokerages, big time brokerages, like whatever. Again, I say Sotheby's, getting in there and then using the power of the executives there or whatever their influence to get it so those agents refer to you as an example, correct?
In the senior living world, so the executive director because kind of runs the whole place. Yeah, you're getting relationships with those people. Also, the case managers, the social workers, the financial planners. There's even somebody, listen to this, they're called a move-in coordinator, Kenner. Move-in coordinator. They have a job called move-in coordinator. Where do you think they're moving in from? They're moving in from their forever home into senior living. That coordinator, I mean, my God, that's the person. Because guess what? People want to get top dollar, of course, but they also don't want to do any of the work. And somewhere in there is our business. You meet them at their level. Sometimes it's a retail sale, and sometimes they want to sell it as is. But the point is, and that's what I want to say too. If you're only an agent, I'm going to teach you also how to do investing. If you're only an investor, I'm going to teach you how to work with agents. Like, I hate putting blanket answers on the United States 100 million boomers problem. Like, you can't put, this is what they should always do at the house. That's not true. And I think we all get in a very powerful position, Kenner, whenever you're not adversarial in your negotiations, but you're actually sitting on the same side of the table with the family, like you're a brother, and you're saying, hey, family, here's our options. Let's pick the right ones for you guys. And when you get to that point with your business, now you're not selling anyone ever. You're just surrounding them with solutions. They pick their best one, and you're more of a Sherpa or a guide to what they're going through.
Yeah, dude, I totally get it. I totally get it. So now that we're just about to land the plane, what else? What have we talked about, or no? What have we not talked about that you think someone out there needs to hear or see that can add value to them in your world?
Yeah, Kenner. I mean, I could talk about this subject for the next week. So to try to bring this down to this small subject, everybody is afraid of change. So most people are. Most
Mm.
people are.
Yep.
So when you're afraid of change, it's going to happen to you anyway. Do you think being a real estate agent has changed over the past 6 months with everything that's
Yeah.
going on? Right?
Yeah.
Things that we never thought would happen. Like change is happening to you anyway. So you might as well embrace where real estate's going to come from, the inventory for the next 20 years. This is it. I feel like Biff
Yeah.
from Back to the Future. I already know the dang future. I already know who wins and loses here. And that opportunity, you're either going to get involved or you're not. So if you're an action taker and you don't want to get left behind, this is so obvious. The numbers are gigantic right behind it. Don't let this pass you by. It's too obvious to not take advantage of this.
Philip, I think Philip's right. Once again, you can get a hold of him through momshouse.com/Kenner, correct?
Kenner. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the one and only. Let's say they want to talk to you personally. Let's say they want to talk to the man Philip. Is there a way to get a hold of you, or are you like, no, I'm going to give you the stiff arm?
No, I like to talk to people. I mean, I get a chance to talk to everybody in my community every day. I'm on social. I'm on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram. If you look up Mom's House, you're going to find my socials and hit me up. I'm on all the socials. I'd be happy to talk to you.
Sounds awesome. TikTok. So are you doing the dancing on TikTok? Is that what your deal is?
I have AI do my dancing for me now. So that's.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh. You got me on that. That was very good. All right, man. That list sounds like it's pretty good. It sounds like it's going to really add value to some people out there. So, and I really appreciate. I understand your cause now. I appreciate you spending time here. It's been awesome. I think for the people who are out there watching, listening, I think go to momshouse.com/Kenner. I think who knows, maybe you can make a penny or two too, right?
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up. So I used to teach people to go hunt and peck on Google and LinkedIn and Meetup to try to build this list. What I'm handing you for your state can save you 6 months of time. So you'll learn about senior living and just getting older. Time is our most valuable asset. I just handed you 6 months of a head start. So I hope you see the value in what I offered there.
So you just gave me, if I want to do it, you just gave me 6 months. I like that.
Yep. Here's the people you need to talk to. Here's thousands in your state. Here's the people to talk to.
Nice work, Phil. Well, again, I really appreciate it. All right. We're closing up shop. This is Kenner French with VastSolutionsGroup.com. We're speaking here at Vast, the Vast voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks, everybody.